going to running backs. Cordarrelle Patterson. Finally, the Wolf coming along, having him on the higher list. Going against Carolina.
On the higher list. I've
always felt you haven't been as high as you should have been, and I feel like you've come around. Anyway, you got him as your RB14, 4 spots higher than the experts. Again, we talk about that 15-point floor that he seems to have. You also really like D'Ernest Johnson, understandably, against Pittsburgh. You got him as your RB29, 10 spots below the experts. Now he's the second head in that two-headed running back machine in Cleveland that seems to be able to produce, 100-yard rushers easily.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can outline the case for me. Carolina, quote unquote, gives the fewest points to running backs. They haven't faced great competition. We saw Dalvin Cook expose them, and I know Patterson is no Dalvin Cook, but the appeal with him is that he also splits out wide. It was great to see 14 carries to, I think it was 5 for Mike Davis this last week, in addition to another 5 targets there, 9 targets last week. He's getting so much invaluable work. So his expected fantasy points continue to climb. And that was the whole rub. Oh, you got to sell him high because it's so hyper efficient. I kept saying, hold, because the volume's going to now match it. If he's that much better than Mike Davis, we'll see those things balance out. And we are. So I expect another 15 to 20 opportunities against, a pretty good defense. But this guy is such a big play threat. He's been in double digits every single week since week 1. Way too low by the experts. And then D'Ernest Johnson. I don't get why he is RB39. That's not even close. That's people saying don't even consider starting this guy. I think he is very much in your RB2 flex consideration after putting up 23 last week. Yes, he was the featured back. It took 22 carries, 2 catches, all that stuff, but we're damn sure passed that eyeball test. I mean, he looked fantastic. We told you all to start him last week. I hope you listened. And as you said, Nat, I think he does take that Kareem Hunt role because he can catch. We talked about this over and over and over. He led the USF. He's the all-time record setter there for all-purpose yards, for receiving yards, for running back receptions. The guy has hands. He can catch the ball quite well. I think he is absolutely going to see, especially in Chubb's first game back, I bet you see 15, 20 touches for this guy. Chubb was the RB5 as the caddy to Nick Chubb. I think D'Ernest Johnson could absolutely have top 20 numbers this week, and he should absolutely be in your consideration. So let us know.
This is a name recognition thing. This is why he's not ranked higher. This is like the reason that guys like OBJ are ranked way and Allen Robinson are ranked way higher than they should be. And I mean, we're looking at, someone like D'Ernest Washington running behind this just elite offensive line. We've already seen him produce once. We've already seen what this team can do with 2 running backs getting carries. Doesn't seem unreasonable that this guy should. I mean, I honestly think 29 is a little low for you, Wolf.
Might be. I've thought
I'd have probably said 24, 25. I mean, something like that. We'll see. All right. Guys we're lower on. We touched on Antonio Gibson for obvious reasons. I mean, he's injured again. And anyway, you got him as your RB26, which seems about right going against Denver. That's 5 lower than the experts. And that's another one. It seems like a carryover. We thought Antonio Gibson would be awesome at the beginning of the year. He's not. We're still going to value him a little more than we should. Darrel Williams going against the Giants, RB24 below the experts. I'm more interested in your take on that one.
Yeah, and it's not that I'm that against Darrel himself. The Giants is certainly a good matchup. We saw him have 2 TDs just 2 weeks ago. I think this is going to be like the get right Pat Mahomes. Let's let this guy – we need to make him better type of game. And we just saw against Tennessee only 5 points, only 5 rush attempts with 4 targets. Like there is a risk if the Giants are putting up points, and I think they will against this bad defense, that Williams just gets phased out. That's kind of been the risk with this guy all year. So could you have 2 touchdowns and 21 points like 2 weeks ago? Absolutely. The Giants are a good spot for that. Could you have 5 points and just a pathetic, useless game? Yes, absolutely. So that's why it's less about him and more about I'd rather have Khalil Herbert, Chuba Hubbard, Eli Mitchell, Damian Harris, like guys that this guy is ranked ahead of right now. I just have him below them. And then ultimately, as we talked about, Antonio Gibson, such a risk to re-aggravate the injury. And even if he plays the full complement of snaps, has not looked nearly as explosive, has 2 and 6 across his last 2 games. You'd hope, with Denver and then a bye week, they just rest the guy and let him kind of hopefully get himself healthy, but they're not. They're just letting him rip. And Denver, a tough matchup for anything, including running backs. I don't think he gets it done this week.
Hail Mary choice, Samaje Perine going at the Jets. Always interested in taking a shot with somebody if they're going against the Jets. You got him as your running back 33, 9 spots above the experts, 18% owned. So if you want him, you could probably have him.
Yeah, and I think more people should want him. I mean, this guy, this is his crazy stat, Nat. In the last 2 years since he's been with the Bengals, there's only been 3 games he's seen 11 or more carries. He's averaged almost 21 fantasy points when he sees 11 or more carries.
Really?
And now he gets the Jet. Yeah, it's insane. Absolutely insane. And He's had 2 games with 11 carries this year. They've both been above 16 fantasy points. Now you look at the Jets, who have given up 36 touches to running backs so far this year because of how bad they are against the running back position, but just in general, you just bleed points to the position. I imagine Mixon will have a field day. He's going to do his thing. I love Mixon. I'm 5 spots above ECR on him. But I think Perine comes in for second half cleanup duty, gets himself 12 to 15 carries, 4 to 5 catches, finds the end zone, tops about 60 to maybe even 100 total yards. This guy is going to have a banger of a day, in my opinion. I absolutely love him.
Don't you think Joe Burrow is just going to go nuts?
Yeah, probably early on, and then they're just going to put the ball.
Yeah. I'm not saying that means the running backs won't get work. I'm just, as a separate thing, it kind of seems like Burrow's coming into his own, and man, he's got a great matchup coming in.
Under pressure, I don't know that there's anyone better in the NFL.
He gets hit a lot, man.
Mm-hmm. And he's just so confident in there too. It's crazy. I love him. I fucking love Burrow. If you could start a franchise, like how many guys would you have above Joe Burrow at this point? Pat Mahomes, probably.
I don't know, man.
Well,
all right, that's another show. All right, must watch.
Yeah, we could talk about that all night. We have a lot of questions. That would be a good show. We should talk about that.
I'll revisit it. Must watch. Yeah. Nick Chubb roll. We talked about this. The Browns backfield without Hunt. We already went into that, quite a big deal. But you're also interested in Kenneth Gainwell in the Eagles backfield.
Yeah, it's been a committee all year, and I don't expect that to change, but maybe it just could. We'll see. But they did give Boston Scott 7 carries compared to 5 for Gainwell. It's been a nightmare of a situation all year. I think that'll continue. But against Detroit, even if you're a nightmare backfield, you can probably still get it done. I really like this player, so I would love to see Gainwell get 15-ish touches. Again, that's maybe a pipe dream because we didn't even see Sanders getting that type of work. But I just definitely a must-watch situation is the Eagles in general. Is Jalen Hurts going to crumble yet again? And just I can't wait to see what this backfield does against an easy Detroit slate.
One thing you can be assured of is that when that fourth quarter rolls around, Jalen Hurts is going to rack up a lot of garbage points.
What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.